The distress signal had been broadcasting across 17 star systems for 3 cycles, a desperate plea in the universal emergency frequency. The Zilani research vessel whispered hope was trapped in the gravity well of a collapsing star, their quantum drives failing. Life support running on emergency power. Every civilized species in the sector had received the transmission, calculated the risks, and deemed the rescue impossible. Then the humans arrived. Commander Vex High of the Galactic Rescue Coordination watched in horror through the long-range sensors as a single crewed vessel dropped out of hyperspace directly into the star's deadly radiation field. The ship's design was all wrong. Angular where it should be curved, heavy where it should be light, bristling with what looked like improvised modifications and jury-rigged equipment. "Sir," Communications Officer Talara's voice carried a tremor of disbelief. "We're receiving a transmission from the unknown vessel. They're identifying themselves as the human ship Defiant Mercy." Humans? Vex High's secondary hearts began racing. Everyone in the Galactic Council had heard the reports from the frontier worlds. Earth, a Class 12 death world where everything was designed to kill, where the dominant species had evolved from persistence predators who chased their prey to exhaustion across endless plains. The humans had only joined galactic civilization 2 years ago, and already their reputation preceded them. James Mitchell adjusted his pilot's harness as the Defiant Mercy bucked and rolled through the star's corona. The radiation meters were screaming, but the hastily installed lead polymer shielding was holding. Beside him, Dr. Lisa Chen worked frantically at her console, her fingers dancing over holographic displays as she analyzed the Zilani ship's situation. "James, their hull is compromised in 6 places," Lisa called out over the roar of the overstressed engines. "Life support is failing and they've got maybe 20 minutes before the radiation cooks them. Can we extract them?" Not with conventional tractor beams. The gravitational shear would tear both ships apart. Lisa's brow furrowed in concentration. "But if we can get close enough, I might be able to modify our mining charges to create a controlled explosion, use the shockwave to push them out of the gravity well." James grinned, the expression both terrifying and inspiring to any galactic who might have witnessed it. "Controlled explosions near a dying star. I like it. What's our survival probability? Honestly, maybe 30%? Those are good odds for a Tuesday." On the bridge of the Celestial Haven, the galactic rescue ship maintaining a safe distance from the disaster, Vex High watched in stunned silence as the human vessel dove deeper into the stellar maelstrom. No sane species would attempt what they were witnessing. The radiation levels alone should have killed the humans' biological systems. The gravitational forces should have crushed their primitive ship, but somehow, impossibly, the Defiant Mercy kept flying. "Sir," Talara whispered, "they're requesting our technical specifications for the Zilani vessel. They want to improvise a rescue method." The next few minutes defied everything Vex High knew about physics, engineering, and common sense. The humans positioned their ship between the dying star and the Zilani vessel, using their own hull as a radiation shield while Dr. Chen worked her impossible magic. She had somehow recalibrated their industrial mining equipment into a precision gravitational manipulation device. Lisa's voice crackled over the comm system as she made final adjustments. "James, when I detonate these charges, we're going to need to punch through the star's outer layer and ride the plasma wave out. Think of it like surfing, but with nuclear fire. Just another day ending in Y," James replied, his hands steady on controls that should have been fused solid by the ambient radiation. The explosion, when it came, was visible from the outer system. A brilliant flare that briefly outshone the dying star itself, followed by 2 tiny specks racing away from the inferno at impossible speeds. The Defiant Mercy had somehow used the star's own collapsing matter as propellant, converting certain death into salvation. Both ships limped into the outer system, their hulls scarred by radiation and extreme heat. The Zilani crew of 17 was alive, traumatized but breathing, their impossible rescue complete. As medical teams rushed to treat both crews, young researcher Kilnara of the Zilani approached Lisa and James. Her normally blue-tinted skin had gone pale with shock and awe. "Why?" she asked simply. "Your own species barely knows ours. We had no treaties, no agreements. You risked everything for strangers. Lisa looked puzzled by the question, as if the answer was obvious. You called for help. But the probability of survival was better than certain death, James interrupted gently. Look, where we come from, impossible just means no one's figured out how to do it yet. Besides, he grinned that predatory human smile. We specialize in making bad situations worse for everyone except the people we're trying to save. Commander Vexhai filed his report that evening, his tentacles still trembling as he tried to describe what he had witnessed. The Galactic Council would need to revise their understanding of their newest members. Humans weren't just Deathworlders. They were hope incarnate, willing to dive into certain doom because someone, somewhere, had asked for help. The distress. Signal had called for rescue. Instead, the galaxy had received something far more valuable, proof that in the vast darkness between the stars, some species would always answer the call, no matter the odds. And sometimes, that was enough to light up the universe.